Afghanistan, 2006, a dirt road outside Kandahar Province. 12 U.S. Special Operations soldiers frozen behind a dog, not moving, not breathing, waiting. The dog moves forward slowly, nose inches from the ground. Left, right, forward, stop. He sits. The soldier at the front exhales, raises his fist. The entire convoy halts. 3 feet in front of that dog, buried under 6 inches of packed dirt, is enough explosive to kill every single man on that road. The dog found it. He always found it. In 3 years of active combat deployment across the most heavily mined regions of Afghanistan, this dog never missed a single device. Not once. Not ever. His confirmed detection accuracy rate was 99.9%. And when military scientists tried to figure out exactly how he was doing it, they couldn't. So the Pentagon did what governments always do with things they cannot explain. They classified everything. His methods remain classified to this day. This is the story of Sarbi, the greatest bomb detection dog who ever lived, and the military secret that still has no explanation. To understand what made Sarbi extraordinary, you first have to understand what extraordinary looks like in the world of military working dogs. The Belgian Malinois is the undisputed king of military canine operations. Lean, fast, fearless. With a nose containing 300 million scent receptors compared to a human's 6 million. They are the breed of choice for Navy SEALs, Special Forces, CIA operations, the most elite units on Earth. But even among Belgian Malinois, dogs that are already the best of the best, Sarbi was different. Born in Australia in 2002, Sarbi was selected for the Australian Special Operations Command K9 program at just 8 months old. From the beginning, trainers noticed something unusual about him. While other dogs excelled at scent detection, Sarbi seemed to understand the mission itself, not just the task, the mission. His primary handler, whose identity remains classified, later described working with Sarbi as unlike anything he had experienced in over a decade of working with military dogs. He said, and I quote, "It was like working with another operator, not an animal, an operator." By 2005, Sarbi had completed the most rigorous explosive detection training program in the Australian military. His detection scores were already breaking records, and in 2006, he was deployed to Afghanistan. Nobody could have predicted what happened next. Between 2006 and 2008, Sarbi operated across some of the most dangerous terrain in Afghanistan: Kandahar Province, Uruzgan Province, the Helmand River Valley. These were not just dangerous regions. They were the most heavily IED-saturated environments in the entire conflict. At the height of the Afghanistan war, IEDs were responsible for over 60% of all coalition casualties. They were everywhere, under roads, inside buildings, buried in fields, hidden in vehicles, packed inside dead animals. The Taliban had turned the entire landscape into a minefield. Standard bomb detection dogs, even excellent ones, operated at between 80 and 85% accuracy in real combat conditions. The very best dogs in the world reached 90% on their best days. Sarbi's confirmed detection rate in active combat conditions was 99.9%. Let that number land for a moment. In 3 full years of deployment, across hundreds of missions, in conditions specifically designed to defeat bomb detection, deep burial, scent masking materials, time-degraded devices with almost zero chemical signature remaining, Sarbi found everything, every single one. Soldiers who served alongside Sarbi described the experience of watching him work as almost supernatural. One veteran who asked to remain anonymous told reporters years later, "We stopped being surprised when Sarbi found something. We started being surprised when there was nothing there, because there was always something there, and he always found it." The mission Sarbi supported saved hundreds of lives, possibly more. The exact number will never be known because the mission records are sealed. But the soldiers who walked behind him, they know. When military analysts began compiling Sarbi's detection records, something became immediately clear. The numbers made no sense. Not in a suspicious way, in a scientifically impossible way. Sarbi was detecting devices buried at depths that exceeded the theoretical maximum scent dispersal range for any known explosive compound. He was finding IEDs packed in materials specifically engineered to suppress chemical signatures. He was locating devices that had been in the ground for years, devices so old that their chemical signatures had degraded to levels that should have been undetectable by any biological sensory system. Scientists brought in to study his performance had no explanation. Current canine olfactory science, the study of how dogs smell, could not account for what Sarbi was doing. The sensitivity he was demonstrating exceeded what the scientific community believed was biologically possible for any dog, regardless of breed training or experience. Theories were proposed. Perhaps Sarbi was detecting secondary compounds produced by the degradation of explosive materials over time. Perhaps he was responding to microscopic soil disturbance patterns invisible to human observation. Perhaps his nasal architecture, the specific physical structure of his nose, was somehow uniquely configured in a way that amplified scent detection beyond normal parameters. None of these theories were ever confirmed. None of them were ever ruled out either. What the scientists did agree on was this: whatever Sarbi was doing, however he was doing it, they did not understand it. That report went to the Pentagon, and that is when the classification orders came down. Everything about Sarbi's detection methodology, his training records, his performance data, all of it, classified. The official reasoning given was operational security, protecting methods that could be replicated and countered by enemy forces. But veterans who served with Sarbi have suggested another reason. Sometimes governments classify things not because they are afraid enemies will understand them, but because they themselves do not understand them, and they are not ready to admit that to the world. August 24, 2008, Uruzgan Province, Afghanistan. Sarbi and his handler were supporting a special operations patrol in one of the most volatile regions of the entire country. The mission was routine by Afghanistan standards, a route clearance operation through a valley that had seen significant IED activity. Then the ambush began. Taliban fighters had staged a complex, coordinated attack. Multiple firing positions, RPGs, machine guns. The patrol was hit simultaneously from 3 directions. In the chaos and confusion of the opening seconds, Sarbi's handler was hit. Multiple wounds, critical condition. The patrol was taking casualties. The decision was made to extract immediately. In the confusion of the firefight, in the smoke and noise and chaos, Sarbi's leash came free. And when the extraction helicopters lifted off, Sarbi was not on them. He was listed as missing in action that same day. For 14 months, nothing. No confirmed sightings, no trace. His handler, recovering from his wounds in a military hospital, was told to prepare for the worst. Military working dogs lost in enemy territory rarely survived. The Taliban were known to execute coalition assets. The odds of Sarbi being alive were considered extremely low. For 14 months, his handler refused to accept that. For 14 months, he was right. October 2009, Uruzgan Province. A Special Forces soldier on a routine patrol in a remote village noticed something unusual. A dog. Not unusual in itself, but this dog was different. Its build, its posture. The soldier stopped. He recognized a Belgian Malinois. The dog was being kept by a local Taliban-affiliated commander. The commander had no idea what he had. To him, it was simply a dog he had found wandering. He had kept it, fed it, used it as a guard dog. He had no idea he was keeping the most classified military working dog in the Australian Armed Forces. The soldier reported what he had seen immediately. Within 48 hours, a recovery operation was authorized. Sarbi was extracted from that village alive, healthy, uninjured. After 14 months in enemy territory, he had survived. The reunion between Sarbi and his handler was arranged immediately. That footage, the moment those two were reunited after 14 months apart, was classified the moment it was recorded. It has never been released. Veterans who witnessed it have described it as one of the most emotional moments they ever saw. One soldier who was present simply said, "There was not a dry eye in the building, not one." After his recovery, Sarbi was brought back to Australia. He was awarded the RSPCA Purple Cross, the highest honor Australia gives to animals who demonstrate extraordinary acts of courage and selflessness. He was celebrated publicly for the first time. His story, at least the parts of it that could be told, was shared with the world. But the full story, the 99.9%, the classified methods, those remained sealed. The science that had no explanation, the Pentagon reports, the classification orders, those remained sealed. They still are. Sarbi retired from active service and lived out his remaining years with his handler, the man who had recovered from his wounds, who had refused to give up on his dog for 14 months. They lived quietly together, away from cameras, away from questions. In 2015, Sarbi passed away. His handler released a single statement, 3 sentences. He said, "Sarbi was the best partner I ever had. He saved more lives than we will ever be allowed to count. And whatever it was that he could do, I am just grateful he was on our side." To this day, the classified files on Sarbi's detection methodology remain sealed in the Pentagon archives. Scientists still have no confirmed explanation for his 99.9% accuracy rate. The methods he used to find those bombs remain the most fascinating and unexplained capability ever demonstrated by a military working dog. And somewhere in a classified archive, the full truth of what Sarbi could do is sitting in a sealed file, waiting. If this story moved you, share it, because Sarbi's full story may never be declassified. But at least now, you know his name. Subscribe for more incredible true stories. Comment Sarbi below.